What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Today we're going to be talking about some of my favorite button locks that have just recently come out. We're going to touch on a couple. I want to mainly talk about the button lock itself and the advancements that it's had. Before we dive in, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I'd love to have you here. And before you head out, hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. Really helps the videos get circulated. So let's kick it off with the Kizer KUH and the main reason for this video. And over the last couple of weeks, since about December, I would say, maybe even a little bit before that, I started to notice that button locks were starting to get increasingly better. Button locks are something I've always heavily paid attention to as far as the lock is concerned for about the last year and a half or so. And I've bought a ton of button locks. Almost every button lock that's come out over the last year and a half, I have 90% of them or better. I have a ton. And so, needless to say, I have experienced a lot of button locks. And they have just gotten so much better, guys. I really can't tell you. And there's guys who know what I'm talking about. Just before opening them up was not the most satisfying thing. You did have some that were fun to mess with, but I wouldn't say, a satisfying opening action. Some were all right, some were good. The Mordax, the Malibu, they were good, and then you had a few more affordable companies put out some decent ones here and there, but the tolerances were sloppy. The lockup wasn't solid on a lot of them. And Kizer and quite a few other companies have really started to dial these in, not only making the opening action way better, but the tolerances are great. The lockup is solid for the most part. The majority, high percentage that they're passing. There are going to be occasions where we see some fail. That's just the nature of the beast. It doesn't matter if it's a button lock or not. We're going to see knives that have a failure in the lockup. And some might be a lot harder than others. Some might be a lot easier. But the point being, every single one that I've gotten in over the last couple of months has been rock solid. Not only the lockup has been solid, but the opening action has been ultra impressive, feeling like a true detent in there. Very strong. This is extremely strong for a button lock. I can literally do the side wind up on this thing. That's how strong it is. And they've been able to do that and maintain that insane button lock action. For a long time, the industry, the community kind of neglected function, solid lockup for action. That's what knife companies were worried about. The consumer was worried about action, so the companies became worried about just having that, fluid action, which I love good action myself, guys. I'm not denying that. But I also appreciate and want solid lockup in there. That is debatable on, I just want solid lockup, good lockup. Does it have to be able to be smashed into a brick, with its spine and pass? No. But I want it to have good lockup and be able to, withstand a little bit of adversity. Just in the off chance something does happen with it, right? Accidents happen all the time. And they've just really started to nail these down. And then here we have another solid example of a button lock that is just really impressive. Kizer Vostede. This is the Corgi right here. And this is another design that I knew about. I seen it. I knew this was a button lock. But it's just one I kind of overlooked. And for as simple and what this looks like, you would not think this knife is that good. But, man, is it really good. And it's got solid deployment great button lock action, and the lockup is solid on this guy. And the way it's done and everything being symmetrical is really cool on this design. The only thing, it's not perfectly symmetrical. Had they done this just a smidge different, it's very, very close to being completely symmetrical all the way down. But just a really cool design, really cool button lock, and a testament to these companies and not only getting the action dialed in, but following that up, getting lockup solid and tolerances right in order to maintain a more safer lockup and continue getting that crazy action that we all want and enjoy. Now I want to bring out the CJRB Frack, and now the cut or the KUH is the knife that kind of sparked this idea, but I would say it was around or right before this knife, and this knife kind of sealed the deal for me, you know, in thinking that button locks were really starting to turn a corner, because when I got this button lock here, the CJRB Frack, it was so stunningly good as far as how strong that deployment is, the great action, the solid lockup, just an excellent button lock design. This is really what started to make me sway towards these knives and these companies starting to really get things dialed in. Now, there's going to be people, no matter what, who just don't like button locks. That's the way it is. And the same can be said for any lock. Some people don't like back locks. Some don't like frame locks. Some don't like crossbars. You know, everybody has their likes and dislikes. That's my major issue. I pretty much like everything. But these button locks, guys, are just taking a turn for the extreme betterment. And the same is going for crossbar locks right now. Not only are those maintaining incredible lockup, the vast majority of them, and I've had a ton of them. By now, you guys should have seen the crossbar locking video. If you haven't seen that video yet, it is coming. We have a ton of good crossbar locking knives in that video. But they're really dialing in crossbar locks, solid opening action, you know, just like these, but maybe even better, or some are better and some are equal to, but the point being very, very solid, and incredible closing action as well. From Kizer to Asher to Schrade to Real Steel, you know, you insert the company and they're doing a solid job on crossbar locks. They've come a long way in the last couple of years. Same can be said for button locks, especially, because that wasn't a huge thing, you know, a couple years ago. You only had a couple button locks back then, and now the market is just littered with them. And they had their issues, but now I think, you know, there's still going to be growing pains along the way. But I think for the most part, a majority of the kinks have been worked out of these button locks. And I think the blueprint is getting out there. You know, make tolerances tight, keep geometry in there right, stronger springs equal better action. And they are starting to get that. They listen to the community. They listen to the creators. They listen to social media, you know, and the people within the community. They actually, a lot of these companies listen because they want to put out a good product that people want to buy. And, you know, in order to achieve that, they have to do what the customer wants. And the customers want good action. They want solid lockup. That's becoming more prevalent, I think. That word has gotten out. You know, people want solid lockup as well as all the other functional things that come with a knife, a locking knife. But I basically just wanted to do a talk about button locks, a couple of knives that I've kind of put on that pedestal as being real good. There's a plethora of other ones, guys, that have come out over the last, 6 months, maybe even a little bit longer at this point. But, really over the last couple of months, 3-4 months or so, they have really started to dial these in, and it's very exciting to be a part of the knife community at this point in time. If you are just coming into the knife community, man, you guys, people have it made right now. There's just new things coming out every week. Incredible, refinement across the board on most varieties of locks and designs. Just doing an exceptional job, coming up with crazy steels all the time, heat treatments improving, everything improving, and things are getting more affordable with better materials. And of course, we have the extreme materials that are coming out that are very expensive for people who enjoy those types of things. So we have a wide array of good quality from top to bottom and, across the board. It's very fun to see, exciting to see, and awesome to be a part of. Let me know what you guys think about button locks. Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you think over the last couple of months they've gotten better, or am I just tripping out and I have no idea what I'm talking about? Let me know what you think down below. Are they better? Are they worse? Are they just the same? Do you hate them? Do you love them? Do you want to cuddle with them? Let me know down below. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, you have a good week, and I will catch you on the next one.